What's going on, y'all? Derek Bryan here. You're watching Slay Outdoors. In this episode, we're going to be catching some dinosaurs, and that is some alligator gar out here in Texas on the Trinity River. Now, this one was a little bit different because I got home and realized that half my audio was gone, so hence why we're doing the intro here in the garage. But, you know, we decided to do something a little bit different this time. We're going to show you a couple clips of us catching some alligator gar. Some have sound, some don't. But at the end, Quinn's going to show you what we used, how we rigged it, and basically how we caught these alligator gar. I had a couple people asking me, like, you know, what do you use? You know, what kind of hooks you use? What leader do you use? What poles you use? So Quinn, at the end of this video, is going to go ahead and talk about all of that. But if you haven't already, set the hook in that like button and gaff that subscribe button, and let's go catch some dinosaurs.
When you're ready. That's a little guy, huh? Perfect.
That was perfect on hook.
Whoa! I thought you said he wasn't big, Chris. What a fish.
No, yeah.
Golly. Hey, man. Wow, look at that one. I got that jump. Jesus Christ, Chris. Man, we got him right here on the bank. All right, so give me a little bit of slack. We'll just pull him right up on the bank. We put him in the boat. He's gonna be hard to get out of the boat. You got your GPS. You could
Yeet us back over.
Bradshaw, and today I'm sitting down. I'm going to go over the different types of tackle we use to target alligator gar, primarily in the river systems. This is a very consolidated amount of tackle. What you see in front of me, plus 2 or 3 extra rods, is all I'm taking in the boat with me. Works great. It's a lot less stuff I can leave behind. If you're a bank fisherman, it also works well because it's a lot less stuff you have to carry to and from the river. I'm going to start off by going from the rods and reels that we use down to the terminal tackle. I'll do a complete walkthrough of all the setups and different types of rigging we like to do. First, I'm going to start off. We use 2 different types of rods and reels. Right here, we have a Penn Squall 2, size 25. This setup right here, this reel costs probably about $169.99 at most outdoor retailers. We have it paired with a BNM 7-foot silver cat magnum rod. It's spooled up with 80-pound Power Pro. We do use a little bit heavier lines sometimes. 80 pounds is about the minimum we like to use. There's a lot of snags out there that you can run into. And if you hook the fish of a lifetime, you know, you don't really want to be under gun, especially in some of the stronger river currents. You can put some pressure on them, keep them out of the snags, keep that fish where you want it. Going down to our rig, we have your typical slip float, pretty much an XL size. You can find these in any outdoor retailer. It's going down to an AFW Mini Mite 400-pound class barrel swivel. That sounds a bit like overkill, but because these swivels, hence the name Mini Mite, are so small, we really love to use them. Then we go down to about 3 foot of Cable Leader, 90-pound test. It's AFW as well. I like it because the crimps we use are, again, AFWs, and they pair really well with them. In our box, just a standard Plano box, we'll keep a different couple bags of swivels depending on the size of cable we use. Like I said, we typically use 90-pound, but if all I got is a spool of 150, 170-pound, we got a different size in there just in case. These are the 0.7 diameter, size 3 swivels from AFW. Double barrel, just like the extra grab that they have. I'll keep those in there, along with extra swivels and extra beads that we like to run. You can see it on there between the slip float and the knot in the line that we have to keep that slip float going with us. On this particular rod, we do have a 3/0 treble hook. These are great hooks to use for alligator gar fishing because they do have a higher probability of hooking them. But I will tell you this, if you are using these hooks, you have to take the utmost responsibility in getting them out of the fish any means possible. A hook like this doesn't rust out, takes a very long time if you do so. If you leave it in there for them to pass it, very uncomfortable for the fish. If they're hooked deep, you'll notice a lot of them are bleeding, and we typically recommend going with a smaller style hook that I'm about to cover here in a second. If you do use this hook, I like to use a piece of PVC pipe that's pretty stout and pretty long in case you hook into a big fish. You have enough reach to go down into their throat. You see here how I have it cut. I have an L sliced in there with just a power saw. And what I can do is I can grab that leader and I can put it in there and turn it to where it hooks onto the cable like so, and I can slide it down, and when it gets down into the fish, I push it, and I can typically push that hook out and then pull the cable tight so that you can see it slips right down around that PVC pipe, and then I can bring it out of the fish. It takes a little while to kind of get used to doing that because you're most of the times dealing with a pretty mean upset fish. That doesn't make it easy, but that's a fantastic way to get these big treble hooks out if you choose to go that route. Our second setup I'm going to talk about is our spinning reel setups. I use these. These are 6500 class Penn 3 battles. I really love these reel setups. Super smooth drag. They have a lot of line capacity, and they also offer up to 25 pounds. That's their max drag. Same as the Penn Squall 2s. This is a pretty lightweight setup. We have it paired with a Penn Rampage jigging rod. This is like the medium heavy 6'4". You can get Bass Pro Shops, any major online retailer to ship it right to your house. Same style. We have 80-pound Power Pro on here. going down to our slip float tied to our 400-pound mini mite AFW swivel. Same cable and everything. The only difference is the hook style on this one. I got this idea from Catching Dinosaurs. He has a YouTube page as well you can check out. He has done a phenomenal job of promoting conservation for these alligator gar. And I don't know if you can see it too well because that hook is so small. This is a 3/0 Gamakatsu live bait hook. And you can see the size comparison. That's a 3/0 treble hook and a 3/0 live bait hook. This is a little bit different rigging style because the hook is so small, you can't just hook on a chunk of carp or shad or anything to that. You have to bridle the bait on there. You can check out his channel. He goes in a lot of in-depth methods of bridling baits on there. Same method he uses, we use. Just a standard rigging needle. You can tie your floss to this and you stitch on your chunk of carp. In this box, we keep all of our spare goods in here. We have extra slip floats because, you know, you'll get broken off a time or two. You don't want to lose these floats. These are kind of, you know, $7, $8 floats, but we bring about 4 extras with us typically. We have our crimping pliers. If you have a slow day, it's a great way to sit there and make up rigs. We do have multiple rigs ready to go. We keep extra hooks with us, a live bait hook. We keep extra swivels, extra beads. These are important to go between the bobber and the knot in your line to keep the bobber from slipping over. What we like to do, we take a piece of braid and tie it around our main line, and that prevents the slip float from coming up to the rod too far. We also keep some wax floss in here, or you can simply just use some of your braid if you're using the smaller hooks to stitch on your extra baits. We keep an extra spool or 2 of our cable leaders, a couple bags of swivels as well. And then also, in the summer months when it heats up and those gar are feeding a lot more active, we keep a couple big, large rattle traps rigged up, ready to go. Same thing, about 3 feet of cable line, 90-pound test, to just a large rattle trap. And what you can do, you can tie this on to, say, this spinning rod right here. If you're in an area where they're actively rolling, cast it out, and you can catch those big gar and artificials. But anyways, guys, if you like this and found this informative, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also stay tuned because we will be posting some more gar videos throughout the season and some offshore videos as well. These rods I got right here, you can take them down to the coast. I use these same setups to catch red snapper, king mackerel, all the way up to yellowfin tuna. So very sturdy, high quality rods and reels. And anyways, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.